I'm sure you've heard about the deep web before. You've heard the stories of gruesome things happening on there. People meeting up to do deranged things in person. You simply wonder if it's real or not. I was one of those people. When I first heard about the deep web back in 2014, I thought it was a joke. It sounded like Charlotte's Web. But it was no joke. I kept clicking on YouTube videos, reading blogs, hearing more and more about the deep web. I contemplated downloading Tor after reading the stories about the deep web, but backed out at the last second. I guess you could say I was too scared. Too scared of potentially being caught by the FBI for looking at the forbidden pages of the internet. Yeah, sounds stupid, right? But I thought about it, and that scared feeling turned into doubt. I'm known for being a skeptical person, so I just brushed off my scared feelings and convinced myself that I wasn't scared, but just skeptical. Very, very skeptical. Fast forward to last month. It's been almost 4 years since I first heard about the deep web. Curiosity killed the cat. I decided at that moment that I was going to surf the deep web. I told myself I wouldn't do it. The contradicting thoughts lasted for several minutes. In the end, I said screw it and downloaded Tor. I went to the deep web on January 8th, 2018. It was 9 p.m. when I downloaded and then installed Tor. When I opened up Tor for the first time, it reminded me of my DSL days. People weren't lying when they said Tor was slow. It was now 9:05 p.m. Tor has officially loaded, and I can now access all of the deep, disturbing content that exists. I was brought to the hidden wiki, which is like the deep web for dummies. I clicked on one of the links, which brought me to a chat room. Harmless, to say the least. There were 30 people in the chat room talking about very random things. I didn't stay in chat though. I exited out and continued browsing. Over the next half hour, I was clicking links as if they were candy. I found a multitude of things that were quite beneficial for me. There wasn't anything disturbing. Or so I thought. As I exited one of the links and went back to the hidden wiki to click on another, a pop-up came up. Please click here for a treat. I closed it immediately. I knew better than to open up pop-ups. I also thought I was hacked because I wondered why there was a pop-up, but my stupidity revealed I had the pop-up blocker off. So I turned it on and kept browsing. But then it popped up again. Please click here for a treat. It said the exact same thing. I was perplexed. Before I clicked on the link, I hovered over it to see what it showed up on the bottom of the screen. You know, ever have those times it says it's Google, but it actually links as a tiny URL? I wanted to make sure it wasn't clickbait. That was the link. I felt safe, so I clicked it. It brought me to a blank screen. I made sure the page was finished loading, and sure enough, it had. I thought something was going to pop up, so I stayed on the page. I remained on there for another 30 seconds before exiting the screen, shrugging it off as a glitch in the matrix. Not even 10 seconds after closing the window, it came up again. The same URL, the same text. It was as if someone was playing a trick on me. But I was curious, so I clicked on the link again. This time, there was text. It was on a blank white screen written in deep blue lettering. 2:14. After a few seconds, I realized it was a date. February 14th, Valentine's Day. Okay, so Maybe I'm going to finally find out who my soulmate is? Maybe I'm going to get kissed, which leads me to finding out who my soulmate is. I was quite confused and perplexed, to say the least. Then, the text disappears. Again, a blank screen is shown, until another set of deep blue letters pop up. You will be dead. Is this a joke? I'm going to die on Valentine's Day? I told myself that can't happen, it's impossible. Who's going to kill me? And then, the text disappears. I felt spooked, so I closed the window, disconnected Tor, uninstalled Tor, and turned off the internet for that night. I forgot about it and just dismissed it as a sick joke. Or at least I forgot about it until this morning. There's 4 more days until Valentine's Day. This morning I heard a knock on the door as I was getting my breakfast ready, but I didn't bother answering. I waited a few minutes before looking at the peephole to see that there was nobody out there. I opened the door and saw an envelope in front of my feet. I picked up the envelope, closed the door, and sat on my couch as I opened up to see what was inside. You will be dead. 2:14. No, this is just a joke, I said, as I kept shaking my head in rejection. Then, the phone rang. I was shaky at this point, and a bit on edge, but I answered the phone anyway. Hello? I said, with a bit of shivering in my voice. You will be dead. 2:14. The voice said, as it got progressively creepier and deeper. As quickly as they said those words, the phone disconnected. I put the phone down and began to pace across my living room. I decided to take a deep breath and go back on the internet. As I opened up Gmail, I saw that I had an unread message. It had no name and no subject line. All it had was a link. It wasn't just any ordinary link either. It was a link that you can only access on Tor. Wait, I said to myself. I recognized that link somewhere. It took a bit of time to figure out what it was, and then it dawned on me. That was the link I clicked on last month while on the deep web. I just couldn't figure out if this was a generic link or if it had any meaning. I spent the next 2 hours searching the link up. I tried to figure out if this had any meaning, if there was any ulterior motive. I couldn't find anything. Then, I got the inspiration to look up an anagram solver. I decided to place the link minus the .onion to see what came up. It took a minute or so to load. What came up almost gave me a heart attack, and it made me crap my pants. You will be dead. 2:14. I basically sat there in silence for what seemed like hours. I'm a major skeptic, so there's some reason for me to doubt that all of this is real. I'm still under the suspicion this is all one big hoax. But at this point, I don't even know anymore. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more, let me know in the comments below, and tell me what you thought of this narration. Make sure to follow me on Twitter for updates, and if you'd like to get early videos, shoutouts, and much, much more, I'd appreciate it if you check out my Patreon page. It's a place where you can help support my channel while getting awesome rewards in the process, and every pledge helps out a ton, no matter the size. So if you'd like to see all the rewards I offer and consider becoming a patron, it'd mean a ton to me if you'd click the link in the description and just check it out. And don't forget to show some love to the amazingly talented authors who make these narrations possible. Have a good night, everybody. Cheers.